Wise men say only fools rush in. Excuse me while I use my Zeus lens wipe for my glasses. Because they're, filthy. But, ooh. That Maine lobster ravioli I just had for lunch. It's kind of repeating on me now. Still worth it, though. So delicious. So delicious. I think maybe we'll be able to see now. Goodness. There he is. What's up, Peter Marsh? Welcome in. Appreciate it. Getting a little bit of writing done today. Probably not a lot. Just not feeling it lately. I think because I killed myself in did over 60,000 words in November. I finished a couple things, and now I'm just like, meh. Not much, just at work. Are you at work, or are you hardly working? Bet you never heard that before. Oh wait, that's not even right. Forget it. What are you working on? Definitely hardly working good. I'm working on King of the Mountain. It is a Southern Gothic noir thriller that I am going to be pitching to an agent in 2025. It's actually my second Southern Gothic noir thriller I'm writing. The other one I ran out of steam on, but I'll get back to it at some point. But this one I have a lot of ideas. So I'm doing that. Apparently, do you finish all the big projects you take on? I know you say we'll get back to some of them. Dude, Chad Hoey in the house too. Eventually, I will finish things. There are some Big projects that I have not finished. I mean, there's a lot over the years. I have, when you finish a novel or you don't finish something, you trunk it. I have probably about 20 novels started that have been trunked over the last, 30 years. That I still have. There was probably more of those, but back in the day I didn't have a computer to do all that. So, I can go back on some. Now, there's some that I have cannibalized and used for other stories. For instance, on my First Coast Thriller series, there is there's a guy that I wrote about. I can't even think of his name now. Anyway, he's in that series, and he dates a stripper, and the FBI comes after him. That was originally another thriller that I was writing years ago. And I liked the character and some of the stuff. And actually the name of that book was Gut Punch. That was going to be the name of it. I never finished it. But then when I was writing maybe the third or fourth book of the First Coast Thriller series, I used that character. And some of those scenes I ended up using that I remember. And also the title of that book, Gut Punch, I used in a novella I wrote about Giancarlo Russo, who was a hitman in the Dirty Deeds series in several books. And I wrote a novella starring him that was sold to a publisher, but I haven't gotten a contract for it yet. But that should be out sometime in 2025. Sorry, you said 20 trunk out of the past 30 years? Probably 20 out of the last 15 years. And some of them are maybe 3 or 4 chapters that went nowhere. Because again, I'm a pantser, so it's until I lose out. I lose my thought or something else comes along. A lot of those were done when I was doing the movie ones. So I would be writing something, and then those guys would message and go, "Hey, we need this done in 30 days or 40 days," and then I would write that. And then I would lose momentum on whatever I was writing, or I would move to a second book with them, third book with them, whatever. So there are a bunch of, I try to put some of them up on my board. So there's some of them there was Devil's School, and another one called Black and White. And those were written during NaNoWriMo, 50,000 words each. And I never went past that. I never finished those books, and so they just sat for the last couple of years. Actually, last 3 or 4 or 5 years. But now on Patreon, which started this month, the Devil's School, I'm doing a rewrite on, and I'm gonna eventually finish it down the line. So that's that. There's Tom Duffy. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is not... There's a lot of tons of short stories that haven't been finished. I have a folder that's unfinished novel. I have a folder that's unfinished short story. And every now and then when I'm like, I'm bored with whatever I'm working, or there's no deadline, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let me look through this file real quick and just pull something out and either work it or cannibalize it for another story or something. So my goal in 2025 is to write a lot more short stories. I kind of got away from that in the last couple of years, and I want to write a lot more short stories. So, and coming in 2025, I will be a judge for the Derringer Awards, which is mystery and crime thriller fiction short story award. It's a prestigious award. Ellery Queen magazine, Alfred Hitchcock magazine, all those always send several stories to read. So I was honored to be picked as one of the judges this year, which will hopefully get my name out there even more. Ukebox, what platform do you want to post your stories on? I post my stories on Amazon. Oh, and I'm self-published, and I also work with a lot of different publishers. So I'm not looking for another place to to put stuff. I have not to be braggy, but I have over 200 releases. So Peter says, "Fuck, am I going to have to go back and watch the YouTube of this because I missed the first 50% of your answer?" Yes, you are. You could also subscribe. I don't know who you are subscribing to, but don't subscribe to them. Subscribe to me. A teacher came in and gave me an update. Hold your updates, lady, till 2 o'clock. So anyway, so I'm working. I am about 12,000 words into this one. This one will be a longer one, probably 80 to 100,000 words. This book, again, I have no deadline on it, because I already know a couple of agents I'm gonna pitch this one to. So there's no rush. They're not even open for submissions this time of year anyway. How do you stay consistent when you write without a deadline? It is hard. The last week or so has been very hard to put my ass in this seat and write, because again, I have, like right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 different stories pulled up that I'm working on that are not finished, and I have a board filled with other ones. The only one I kind of have a deadline on is Down and Dirty 4, but it's not going to be released till April 15th. So I have plenty of time to finish it and get it beta read and get it edited and get it published. So there's really not a big... I work much better under pressure. I finished my 11th Severed Press book, Nazi Treasure, but I'm holding on to that until January. I'm going to send it to them because they put those out within like 2 weeks. With doing edits, covers, everything else. So, and then I'm working on one more, my last Severed Press book. I don't think I'm going to pitch them anything else for at least a year or so. I need to get a whiteboard like that. Yeah, whiteboards are the best. So right now my whiteboard, I have on one side, I have every month the next 18 months written out, and what should be out on those months. And so I'll looking now, obviously I have to erase December because Down and Dirty 3 came out yesterday, by the way. Anybody who bought it, thank you very much. I hope to see a review of that. January will be the first book will be Low Tide. Me and Tom Duffy wrote that. Also, Nazi Treasure should be out by Severed Press then. And then February and March will be the second and third books. Me and Tom, we do rapid release on those like we did last year. And then April will be Down and Dirty 4. May will be Stark Lake, which is my cosmic horror that was on Vela that nobody read, and that's coming down, and that will be another edit on that will be out. And then June will be Permafrost, which is the sequel to Dying Days. Nothing for August or September yet. Down and Dirty 6 in October. My 6th short story collection in November, so on and so forth. Civic Geek says he writes 6 pages a day when he's active. That's insane. The man's crazy. Well, the man is good. He's been doing this for a very long time. He's also very long-winded. Does the rapid release make a big difference with sales? Yes, I'd like to think so. So instead of spreading them out, me and Tom when we did the Heist trilogy, the Johnny Bell trilogy, we did December, January, February, and it sells, and then we did a box set in the summer for it. So instead of spreading it out over the year, my ideas, and I've done these rapid releases before, and they seem to work, because especially when you buy the book in January 15th, and you see in the back, oh, here's a sample of the next one, and then I can pre-order this, and it's a less than a month away, and then I can pre-order the third one. So it definitely helps. Wait, what was the thing you said nobody read? That was Stark Lake, which was in here. The short stories were published on, not in here, in Twitch, in Patreon, at a certain level, and then I put them up in Vela, and then like nobody read them on there. People read them on Patreon, which is nice, but so I'm going to basically take that down off of everything and publish it. I just need to get a cover for that. Sean Cull in the house as well, everybody. Sean Cull in the house. It's like everybody's popping in. So that's kind of where I am. I did not write on Saturday at all because I got up early. My wife made 5 different kinds of cookies. I went to the FWA meeting at 11 a.m., Florida Writers Association, and it's the end of the year thing, so everybody brought cookies and donuts and coffee and stuff. And a couple of books for people to trade if they want anything. So I brought one of my books and another book that I had read, threw those in the pile, and then hung out there for about an hour, had a good time. Then I hung around because then at 1:15, the Sisters in Crime group, which I'm also a part of, had their same basic party in the same exact place, which was nice. Went to go your book and Kim DeVella instead of Vela will be gone completely in about a month or so. So I don't think at this point, I think they shut down. You can use your coins, but you can't buy any new ones, and you can't add anything to it. You can still read it if you want. Just use any coins you have, but you can't buy new coins, basically. But if you use coins, then I get paid. So use some damn coins. So, and then hung around with the Sisters in Crime group and met a couple of new people there, which was nice. And then everybody loved my wife's cookies. Then they were like, oh, we're going to play games. We're going to play Clue and something else. And I'm like, I got to go. I'm not going to sit around and play Clue. I was the only dude there, too. Probably the youngest person there, too. But a couple of the members are in that group have published a lot of stuff, which is cool. So I get to pick their brains about agents and traditional publishing and that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. So then I left and I went and I stopped at Whataburger. Got me a double cheeseburger with only lettuce and tomato. You can't really eat those while you're driving though because they get all juicy. So I ate, went home, hung out with my wife. My wife and my daughter was here. They continued to bake for a few hours. I continued to sample cookies. I ended up, that was basically my dinner was, let me eat some of these cookies. And that's what I did. And then and that was really it. So I didn't write it all on, I didn't even touch the computer, I don't think, on Saturday. It's very easy to spill Whataburger and yourself and driving. Yeah, that's one of those. Even if you wrap it you use the wrapper, it fills. It fills with all the juice, and then one wrong turn, and then all that juice is gonna spill. So I basically parked in a vacant lot across the right next door, and I opened my car door, and I leaned forward, and I ate my burger and let it drip all over the place. My favorite is the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich. My problem with Whataburger is I always get the double or the triple burger. I haven't eaten any, I don't think I've ever eaten anything else but like their fries. Maybe onion rings. Because I love their burgers. It's one of my favorite, probably one of my favorite burgers. Exactly. So I think, and again, I'm in Florida, so I don't have access to a lot of other burgers like everybody else does. But I would think Five Guys is my favorite, and then followed by Whataburger. Those are my top 2. There are places like Epic Burger or something, M Shack, other ones, and they all just kind of taste the same to me, and they're also a lot of gimmicks. I don't eat any kind of so like I go to Whataburger and I pull up. Young girl working the drive-through. And she, what do you want? Oh, do you want whatever the new thing is? I'm like, no, thank you. Okay, are you going to use your Whataburger app? No, I don't have that. Okay, I say I just want a double, but only lettuce and tomato. So you don't want pickles or mustard? I said, no, mustard is disgusting. And then she starts laughing. She goes, well, would you like to add ketchup then? I said, condiments are gross. I said, keep all that stuff as far away from my food as possible. Disgusting. And then she laughed, and then she told the other girl that was working there what I had just said. Because there's a Whataburger, I'll go to Whataburger and I'll say, I want a double with cheese plain. What does that mean to you? That means nothing else on it. A couple of burger patties and a couple slices of cheese. No. These assholes put mustard on it. Only in that one Whataburger. And so I go back around the one time, and I was, the first time I did it, I'm driving away and I took a bite of it and I got mustard taste, and I get nauseous. So I threw that shit out the window, used my sweet tea to wash my mouth out and spit that out. And then the next time I went, I'm like, yeah, I want it plain. That means no mustard. And the guy's like, well, then you have to order it dry. I'm like, that's the stupidest bullshit I've ever heard. And I was like, I'm like, who the fuck made up that rule? That's stupid. No. Don't put mustard on everything. That's just gross. So when I went, I made sure no mustard, no ketchup, none of that stuff. And then I get to the drive-thru, and they're like, do you want ketchup? No. Please stop with the ketchup. You guys are people just giving away ketchup like it's nothing. You know how I eat my french fries? I chew them. I put a french fry in my mouth and chew it and I swallow it. It is like the space between the chicken strips are like tubes, and the barbecue sauce just flows right out of them. Right onto my shirt. Oh yeah, I'm wearing a shirt, and I have already quite a few. I had Maine lobster ravioli for lunch. Delicious, and of course I spilled some of the gravy on me. Thank you for the cheer. I like being cheered. I want to remind everybody to subscribe or resubscribe, though. That's important. Also, follow me on YouTube. I'm starting to build up the YouTube. So the YouTube has all of these Twitch episodes. They go on later in the day. I also have a ton of walk and talk, which is questions that people ask me. It could be about writing, could be about food, could be about anything. Peter Marsh has given me a ton of questions for that, which is great, but I'm always looking for more questions. And every Friday, those go live on my Patreon, and then sometime after that, they'll go live on YouTube. I have over 300 videos on YouTube. So there's a bunch of other stuff. There's how I make my antipasto, my antibast. There's a thing of me making food. There's just some random stuff. I'm trying to figure out other things to add on there to keep it going. So, I'm subscribed to you on YouTube. It looks like TikTok is growing for you. Yeah, TikTok is definitely growing. I'm getting paid because people keep subscribing and watching ads and everything else that you can get paid for. And then I'm trying to build up. I'm over 100 people on YouTube, but you need to be over 500. I also need people to watch more of those damn videos. So feel free to just type in Armand Rosamilli in YouTube and then just hit play all, and then just walk away from your computer for several days. That would be helpful. Because I can't. I'm not allowed to do it. I think you can watch your own video 3 times. I think is the rule. But you can watch other people's videos as many times as you want. So if there's any appearances of me anywhere, I'm always watching those again. Helping other people and trying to get more people. So my goal in 2025 will be to build up the YouTube to hit 500 subscribers. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, but I guess I will. Hopefully. But yeah, Twitch every month I'm getting paid. So that's very helpful. Another another way to you have to have several streams of money coming in, and between Amazon, between Draft to Digital, between anthologies I'm getting royalties on, between Twitch, between Patreon. It's all nickel and dime stuff that's making me money. Good job, man. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. The goal is for when Tom comes down, Tom Duffy moves to Jacksonville in a month or two at this point, then he is also going to jump on Twitch. But I'm going to need everybody to subscribe to me and then just, be nice to Tom. I need the money more than Tom does. So, that's that. I knew I was going to get a lot of writing in today. And I'm fine with that. My wife, I'm going to turn this air up a little bit more. It's a little freaking hot. It's only 60 degrees out. I should probably open the windows. All right, I'm gonna make sure the air is off or the heat is off, whatever my wife turned on. I'm gonna also grab a handful of cookies, and then I'm gonna open a window, and then we're gonna talk. Be right back. Got me a handful of cookies. You can watch me eat. Also gonna open this window. The air was on, except it's too cold out for the air to kick on. Here comes the cat because the windows got opened. 60 degrees it says. Little breeze. Let me eat some cookies. This is a chocolate brownie M&M cookie. So good. So good. That is true. We don't have bears in our neighborhood. We got a crap ton of raccoons and feral cats. Because these idiots leave their cats out, don't fix them, and then all of a sudden there's like 10,000 cats in my yard. And squirrels, and we'll get an annoying woodpecker most nights out there, hammering away at the dead tree. And I'm like, just knock the damn thing down for me. No gators, though. The old, oh, if there's a body of water, there's a gator in it. Not really. Not in the North Florida. Not as many. Not as many in this county. Anybody sees them, they freak out. Like, maybe don't have your poodle wandering around near the pond, you moron. You're ringing the dinner bell. Did you watch Bloodline? I don't know. I think I know what that is, but I don't know if that's what I'm thinking. This is a chocolate chip cookie. Oh yeah, I saw that when it came out. That was good. Yeah, that's down in the Keys. Down in the Keys where they have gators. That was good. That was kind of a when I started writing a shakedown. That was Kyle Chandler was the for Clayton Conway. That was actually the person I had in my mind when I wrote that part. That is what I picture Florida's like, and most of Florida is like that. We're like 20 miles from the Georgia border. So natives down here, the locals refer to this as South Georgia. But then as you go south, you hit the St. Augustine, so touristy, Daytona, which is just white trash. Kyle Chandler's going to be playing Green Lantern in a show soon. I hope he does well. I will not watch it. There was on Thanksgiving, they were having a conversation about, superhero movies and on and on. Oh, what do you like better, Marvel or DC? And I said, no. My wife's like, stop being an old man. I'm like, I can't help it. All those movies suck. I don't watch any of them. Like, oh, did you see like The Boys or this or that? No, I don't want to watch anything with superheroes because it's ruined for me. Because I grew up on Marvel comic books in the 70s and the 80s. And those were amazing, and you can't reproduce that on the big screen with billions and billions of dollars thrown at it. Not interested. It's going to be him and that guy from that Netflix movie, Rebel Ridge. Did you see that? Yes. Yeah, we just saw Rebel Ridge the other night, as a matter of fact. Because you're looking for something to watch. That was alright. A little hokey in parts. Don Johnson spit way too much in it, but otherwise I liked it. Just Conan, that was the only comic you were into. I still like Marvel comics. In fact, I had for a long time the, what was it called? Marvel Unlimited. So you can read all the comics online. And I got to get that again because I enjoyed going back and reading like, oh, let me read the original, like the original run of X-Men or Fantastic Four or Spider-Man or whatever that I'm obviously not going to spend tens of thousands of dollars buying these issues. But I'm not even collecting comics anymore. I stopped over a year ago. I shut off my pull at the comic book store because I just wasn't reading them. And I was getting Red Sonja, Conan. The only ones I asked were Red Sonja, Conan, anything John Carter, Warlord of Mars, or anything similar to that. That was it. Wonder Woman for my wife. But we weren't reading them. I didn't shut off my pull. My pull is still wide open. Pull. They pull the comic books from you. For you. That I go in and spend $100 a month on friggin' comic books. That I'm not... my pull list. Yeah, pull. Not my pull list. My pull list, that's my stripper when I work at the strip clubs. When I go up there, they say, what's your dancing name tonight? I say Cinnamon. they say, "What's your poll list?" And I give them a list of my songs I want you guys to play. This is a blueberry. Oh, what does they say berry wrong? Bury, like bury your dead. I think if I get a page in, I think I'll be happy. My hope is that when Tom moves down here, I'll get back in the groove, and he and I will do another trilogy together for next year. And also, tomorrow I will have Amanda Ward coming over to write. And I always do well when she's in the house because I know she's kicking ass. And as much as I sit and BS and talk with her, I still usually get a couple of thousand words in. So looking forward to that. And then it's Pork Chop Tuesday. So we'll go to B-Mac's buffet for lunch, and I'll get several pork chops. Several pork chops. One of these days, Peter, you'll be allowed to come to MondoCon. That would be fucking nice. I've written like 200 words. So that if you ever invited me, I would have something to show. Yeah. Finish the damn book. We did say pork chops, Nick. I know you're not a fan. But still. Glad to have you in the house. Nick Zinn will be here for MondoCon next year. Looking forward to that. I started Expedition Unknown yesterday. You're lucky I left my TV. You left it? What'd you leave it for? You cheating on your television? I like Expedition Unknown. You're like 15 seasons behind. Now it's Expedition something or other. He's doing a kind of a different show. He's not traveling anymore. Only like 1,000 episodes to catch up on. They're good. They're very good. Then you got to watch Expedition X with Chobot. We watched a good. What did we watch yesterday? Something. I don't know. We watch all those contraband shows, on the airports and, missing at sea, shit like that. Destruction Decoded, those kinds of things. So check out a new shark movie. That is good. I don't even want to know, Nick. I'm so mad at you from the last one. But if you find out a name for it, let me know. Where a plane sinks to an ocean ledge and sharks are swarming. Great setup and premise on that. No way up. Is it in the theaters now? Or is it like on Netflix? Because at some point this week, my wife is going to her mother's. It's supposed to be today. But her lazy sister couldn't get up to get on her plane this morning. So we do this every time. Probably by Wednesday, my wife will be over there. She'll definitely be gone until Monday. Late Monday night. So I got to watch some stuff. Streaming. No way I'll be sure there's I see what you did there, Peter. Streaming like it cost me money? No, thank you. Hulu has it. Alright. I'll look into it. I think I'm still locked into my daughter's Hulu. Did you watch the Girls Gone Wild documentary yet? That's pretty good. Just watch the trailer because I'm taking no responsibility on this. Yeah, I appreciate you throwing it out there, but saying, hey, watch it at your own risk, not, watch this one's a good one, and then it's not. No, my wife was mad at me. We were trying to find a movie the other day, and they suggested Meg and Meg 2. And she was so mad at me because I watched those. I'm like, why are you mad at me? Because she's like, it's a Jason Statham movie. I love him. I'm like, well, it's a giant shark movie. I didn't think you want to watch a giant shark movie. She's like, I think I would have watched that. I'm like, well, then watch it. She goes, no, too late now. I'm like, what? Not sure when I'll get to those Girls Gone Wild. Well, I would imagine when your girlfriend is not in the house. I mean, they don't show anything. And I'm an old man, so if you, like, I watched it and I'm like, well, these chicks were 16 years old with fake IDs getting drunk in Florida, and some dude's walking around with a camera and you're flashing your boobs. You know what? 20 years later, I don't feel sorry for you. Sorry. Exactly. The worst would be sitting down with your girlfriend to watch it, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm in number 178 of this." Yeah, there's a shot of me when me and my girlfriends were like 13, and we went and had lesbian sex in the trailer or something. You don't want that. I probably shouldn't watch the trailer for the Girls Gone Wild trailer while I'm at work, right? Yeah, probably not. I'm not sure what the trailer is, but I would imagine it's got a lot of chicks flashing their boobs. I mean, it's all blocked out, but you can still tell that they're boobs. I just said to my wife, Frank recommended this. I'm going to watch it. I don't think you want to watch it. She's like, no, thank you. All right. Blocked out boob Minecraft porn. Exactly. They talk about the free t-shirts they got. Good for Flash. Yep. They talk about the t-shirts and the hats that they got for being filmed. They also talk about when the chicks would make out or do other risque things to each other. They would pay them like $100 each. Not my best joke, but someone he has to make up for Mr. Frank to be. I don't know where Mr. Frank is. I guess they got him working. Maybe the Jones did get Mr. Frank. Who can say? I've got a day job. He works in a it's not a factory, but they do like fertilizer and stuff like that. And I guess he's one of the he's like one of the pit bosses there. So then he actually has to get his hands dirty and get some work in. I know he worked for a lumber yard for many years. I sat in the yard a lot this weekend. It was gorgeous out. Sat in the yard and I read. And every time a plane went by, since we're close to the airport, every time we heard a plane, I would say, "A drone." And my wife's like, "I had enough with the drone thing." I'm like, "Drone!" What did I read? None of your effing business. I read this. Don Winslow, City on Fire, the first in a trilogy, and the last book that he wrote in this came out this year is the last book he's ever going to write. He's retired from writing now. No more Don Winslow. Phenomenal. Love this book. I immediately jumped into the second book. I'd never read Don Winslow before, but after reading Jordan Harper and S.A. Cosby, all the reviews are, if you like Jordan Harper and S.A. Cosby, you'll also like Don Winslow. So I read this first one, really good. It's the Rhode Island Irish mob versus the Rhode Island Italian mob, basically. Very good. No, the awning, it was very windy, so the awning was closed and I didn't bother opening it. What about his writing do you like? I like it because it is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very real, very raw. I like that he's not using big, huge, fancy words. He's telling a story. He's like a pulp author. If he was born 100 years ago, he would be like a pulp author. And he uses a lot of Italian sayings for racist terms against the Irish and the blacks and everybody else, and I laugh because I'm like, this is how I grew up with my peepaw, my grandfather. All the Italians are all the old school Italians are very racist, and then on the other side, the Irish side, my mother's side, really not Irish but English, they were also very racist. So I love his characters, and it's so intricate. It's crime thrillers, and I like it. Nick says, I read one of his books a few years back, don't remember the title. He has a lot. He said, I think 2 or 3 of his series sold for TV series. I know his book Savage, Oliver Stone did a movie, which I haven't watched, but I guess I should. But anyway, I got the 3 books from the library. And I was finished this one. And last Thursday, when I went to lunch with the local authors, old Mike O'Connell said, he's not writing anymore. And I'm like, what happened to him? He said, no, he quit. And I'm like, seriously? He said, yeah, the 3rd book in that series is the last book he's ever going to write. So I was like, oh, all right. I'm like, you're lying. So I went and looked it up. I'm like, holy shit, yeah. I looked at it. He's gotten like, I don't know, 40 books out or something. He's got a lot of books out. But I guess he's doing other stuff. I think he's a screenwriter or something. I don't know. Whatever else he's doing. I guess he's doing that now. So it gives me a chance to read all of his stuff. Really good, though. Really, really. I haven't done the review yet. That's why it's sitting here. Whenever I read something, if I haven't reviewed it yet, I put it out in the filing cabinet next to my desk so I can remember to review it. Really good, really solid, like a rock. That's what our love is. So I would suggest you read it. If you read Down and Dirty, book 3, which just came out yesterday. Everybody needs to read that garbage. And then on the 21st, I think, Lone Wolves anthology comes out, and I have a brand new story in that. And then in January, Tom and I, Low Tide comes out, February, Rising Tide, and March, High Tide. Maybe you can co-write books with him like H.C. Andrews or James Patterson. V.C. I was like, who the hell's H.C. Andrews? V.C. Andrews, yeah. So there's a guy, speaking of that, Nicholas, there's a guy in town. When does the prequel Tide Pods come? I see what you did there, Peter Marsh. I see what you did there. There's a guy who basically, he's like, I've published 50 books co-written so far. And basically he just does, like, he thinks he's James Patterson. He comes up with like a 5 or 6 page outline, and he gives it to a new writer to write that book. Then he edits it puts his name and their name on it, and they split the money. And so he approached me after the FWA meeting while we were standing around. I was eating donuts. And he said, hey, I've run into you a couple times. I know you got a lot of books and stuff. Would you be interested in basically maybe writing something together? I said, well, I've co-written a lot of books with probably 6 or 7 authors now. I said, but co-writing means we both write the book. So if you're going, hey, I have an outline and I want you to write this book, I am not interested. I have a million ideas I'm never going to get to in my lifetime. So I'm not interested in doing that. He's like, well, I mean, it's a little more involved. And I said, no, it's not. I said, I'm going to be honest. You're looking for a patsy to write your book because you would rather just write outlines of 50 books and then try to get people to read them, and then you're making money on it. It's great if you can get it. It's a great job, but that's not writing to me. I said, that's doing homework. That's doing an outline for school. It basically is all that is. He's like, oh, all right. And he walked away, and then some other guy started laughing. He's like, yeah, I don't get that. I'm like, I'll be all right. I said, I guarantee you at some point in the next year, this guy is going to be like, oh, so I just put out 50 more books because I put my outline through AI, and AI wrote the books. Guarantee that's what's going to happen. Guarantee it. Sorry for yelling. Tomorrow, I probably will not be, I definitely will not be on, because at 1 o'clock I will be at, hopefully, hankering down with some pork chops. Some good old fried pork chops. So I will not see you tomorrow, but I will see you on Wednesday. I'll see everybody on Wednesday. Seriously, I want to remind everybody to resubscribe. I'm down like 7 or 8 subscribers here, so people got to jump in there and resubscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And also, please follow me on YouTube. Doesn't cost you anything. And feel free to tell other people about how great my YouTube is. Lie about it. Peter Marsh, done and done. There you go. Appreciate that, Sarah. I do. I greatly do. So, I have not added anything new on TikTok because God only knows if that's going to be around in another month. But I'm trying to come up with some ideas. If anybody has any ideas for things that you would like to see me, small things, short things, on YouTube, and nothing, don't give me no dumb, funny things. Serious stuff. They could be short and dumb and funny, but you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to add more content to my YouTube. I just don't know what to add. Thanks for chatting today. I'm glad I was able to be here for the whole time. I'm glad you were able to be here as well. It is funny. I scroll through TikTok for a half an hour every night for 30 minutes with my 8-year-old daughter. You know what? She would love some of my walk and talks. Probably not. We swipe past videos we aren't interested in. She sees your videos. I hope she loves them. I hope she grows to love them. All right, everybody. I am trying swiping. I don't want that guy. Oh, that guy again? Get him out of here. I want to appreciate. I appreciate, and I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today and every other day. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the people who are watching this on Twitch later on. I get quite a few people who watch it after the fact. And also I want to thank the people who go and watch it on YouTube as well. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I am out of here. List off all the racist words your elders taught you. Huge on TikTok. Yeah. That'll be a long video, though. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. See you, everybody, on Wednesday.